GuestVision's point of sale overview. In GuestVision, the clients will be able to open and close for business and be able to check their clients in and out. So first, they'll want to open for the day by entering all of their money counts into these columns here. They'll have an amount that they're set to open with, and of course the system will let them know if they're over or short. They also have a checklist to check off, and any notes that they needed to make they can enter here, and then they would either open or close. So first thing in the morning, they would want to open for the day, and then they can go ahead and move on to checking themselves in, clocking in for the day. They do have an employee tab where they would come in and be able to see any stylist or employee that is actually clocked in and there. Anybody in green is clocked in, anybody in red is clocked out. If they wish to clock themselves in, they would highlight their name, click check in, and that would go ahead and clock them in. There is fingerprint security set up for employees as well, so some of them might have a manual password while others have a fingerprint reader where they place their finger and that serves as their password. They can come here and view their own time cards. They can send messages to each other and print out their own employee end of day reports as well. Once they've opened and checked themselves in, then they'll spend a lot of their time in the guest tab, because this is where they can look up any returning client, enter any new clients. When they enter a new client, they typically enter the phone number, first and last name, gender, and age bracket for the client. Select the service that they're going to be getting done and check them into the in-service. They also have the option to check them into the wait list if the client was going to be waiting a certain amount of time, or place them in the will return or call ahead section. This is also where they can take payments, so they can go to view advanced checkout, pull up the ticket, add or remove services, add or remove products, apply any coupons or discounts, view the history, anything else that they need to change to the ticket or to that client service for the day before checking them out. And of course, they can then accept any payments that they prefer to check: cash, check, card, gift card, or any other types of internal payments. Most clients are integrated with the credit card payment, so they would click card, swipe the card, and be able to process it right through GuestVision. A lot of the times, if they are having trouble with card payments, it's typically because their internet is down. If it's freezing or being slow, that also might be their internet dropping. So right in here, they'll be able to take payments, capture electronic signatures if they needed to, enter chemical cards, update the client's information, and check them out. They do have an appointment tab. Not everybody uses the appointment tab, but for those that do, this is where they would come in and book appointments for their staff, their stylist, barbers, or whatnot. They do see the employees' names across the board here. They can then filter them by groups. So if they wanted to see stylist versus esthetician or barbers or whatnot, they can go through that. The highlighted areas are the time that those folks are actually scheduled. So as long as they've entered their employees' schedules into GuestVision, then the appointment book would recognize that and be able to highlight it. They can click only scheduled and see only the folks that are scheduled. Come in here, select the time slot, add the appointment, come back, edit appointments. They can also block time and have reoccurring blockouts. The next tab here is a transaction tab, and this is where you can see all of the transactions that have been processed for the day. So after they've accepted a payment, this is where they would come in and see everything that they've processed, including any walkouts, no-shows. If they did want to show cancellations on here, they can, but this is where they would come in. They can come back in here and view tickets. It is a popular place to come back and just view the ticket, review your work, and make sure it got processed correctly. If you needed to reprint a receipt or a gift receipt, you can do it from here as well, and also enter chemical cards. Chemical cards are in reference to the client's history. So what color was used on them, what formulas were used on them, any allergic reactions, or anything worth noting for that client for their next visit, they can come back in here and enter those chemical cards. It's also where they can come in and fix any of those really common mistakes that everybody makes, maybe fixing a employee's name, fixing a client's name. They have the option to come in here and do all of that. And so some of the most frequent point of sale calls that we receive in technical support is fixing the stylist name, fixing the client's name. It's a very common mistake, and all of that can be done under the transaction tab. And so right in here in the transaction, they would be able to come in here, select the ticket, and then select to either fix the client's name or fix the student's name, the employee's name, or the stylist's name, whichever it is that they are handling at that point. And that would allow them to fix some of that most common mistakes. So that is what you would hear more when it comes to help with fixing a ticket or making a correction or anything in that matter. Another really common one is redos and refunds, and that can be done from the history tab. So when they pull somebody up, they can go to history, select what service they would like to refund or redo, and apply that on over to the ticket. As well as for any products, if they were returning a product, they can add that and then be able to refund the client back. And that is just some of the most common ones. They do all have access to the help tab, which is where they see our 800 number, but they also have access to all of these quick starts, guides. If they get stuck on anything like taking a card payment, cash, check, cards, they can quickly come in here and click show me. There is a couple of guides in here that are really, really helpful for anything that they need help with. If their computer is frozen or GuestVision is frozen, we typically want them to exit out and reopen it. Just a rule of thumb, just to make sure that everything is working right. There is a couple suggestions here for them as well to follow if they were having trouble with the receipt printer, of course, power cycling it, and so on. And so we do have all of that information in the help tab for them as well. And that covers just the very basic of your point of sale items and what they mostly use GuestVision for on a day-to-day basis when it comes to the reception desk area.